Every 7 minutes, a child is bullied. 1 in 7 students in grades K through 12 are either a bully or a victim of bullying, and more than 160,000 children miss school every day due to fear of attack or intimidation. And the saddest statistic of all is that bullying is a leading cause of suicide among children between the ages of 11 and 16. And right now, you can learn to be a friend first and help stop bullying for good, and we should all be on board with this. And joining us this morning is Tera Wong-Williams, Regional Manager for Girl Scouts of New Mexico Trails in Clovis and Portales. Thank you for joining us, Tera.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Well, what a relevant topic, especially recently, and I'm so glad you're here to talk about it and bring some more awareness. Let's talk first about the Be a Friend First program.
So our BFF First program is an initiative set out by Girl Scouts of the USA, and it involves getting middle school girls engaged in identifying bullying behavior in themselves, how to advocate for themselves and others, and once they can identify those behaviors in themselves, then they can make a change.
You know, because I think a lot of the bullies don't even realize initially that they are. That's a great point that you do that. And so why would you say that Be a Friend First is specifically targeted at middle school girls?
Middle school is a time in a girl's life when they're discovering who they are, they're developing new friendships, they're leaving that elementary life behind and becoming big kids.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
They're getting Facebook and cell phones for the first time. And so that's when we really need to address those bullying issues.
Yeah, the social media life starts really in full force. And so when you first did this program with the girls, I'm really curious, what surprised you the most on a personal note?
What surprised me the most was when the girls realized what they could be teased about. Like that if I like country music, people are going to call me these names. If I am a Justin Bieber fan, how are people going to attack that? And how am I going to own that and be secure in that and not let that affect me?
Wow, really interesting, because these are things you wouldn't think could be a target for bullying. I mean, these are just parts of your personality. And so obviously by doing this, you're probably learning so much just from the girls. I mean, that's just one factor. What else have you learned from them?
They just amaze me with the fact that they're so willing to admit when they realize that, oh my gosh, I was a bully. I did that to someone. I hurt that person. And they're then recognizing it and deciding to make a change.
I think this is so great. And so would Be a Friend First only be available then to current Girl Scouts and troops, or what?
Absolutely not. We're trying to make Be a Friend First available in schools.
Great.
We'd love for schools to take this on. During PE would be a great time for you to have this engagement with these girls and discuss these topics. And our curriculum lines up with Common Core standards, which is so important that they're getting an educational benefit that the schools will love and be appealed to use.
Yeah, I think that's great. And you know, I mean, obviously we're talking about girls here, but listen, the boys can be bullies too. So is there anything for the boys?
Absolutely. Well, by changing the dynamic in your school, if half of your population is taking a program like this where you're talking about relational aggression and you're talking about relationship building, and these girls are learning how to advocate for themselves and others, they're going to influence those boys. They're going to see that behavior and they're going to point it out and say this is not okay. So even though we're not addressing boys with relational aggression, they typically have physical aggression issues. We are really changing the dynamic of your school environment.
And you know, and the boys and girls, I mean, at that age, I mean, they do start becoming friends. They start to get crushes, things like that. And they're not going to be appealing to the girls if they're acting like bullies.
Exactly.
And they'll figure that out pretty fast, I think. So could the schools definitely implement a program like Be a Friend First? Do you really believe that could happen?
Yes, absolutely. I hope so. Absolutely. It's very laid out. It's structured very well. There are lots of hands-on activities, lots of kinesthetic activities where the girls are up doing things. There's lots of creative thinking. So it's definitely something that schools could use.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I think this is great. And I know a lot of people watching do as well. So if the school's watching, or anybody that has any influence, if they're watching and they're saying, I want to get involved, how can they do that?
Absolutely. They can go to our website, which is www.nmgirlscouts.org. There's a link on the page that will send them directly to it.
Perfect.
Oh, and it's up. Yay. And they can also call our office at 505-343-1040.
Fantastic. And you know, before you go, I just want to ask you real quickly, do you have any advice for kids out there who are watching and they're just a little nervous about going back to school because maybe they know they might be facing a bully? What would you say to them?
I would just tell them to be confident in themselves, to find those core people that are going to love you and push you to be your best.
Great advice, Tera. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
I'm really grateful for what you're doing. I know a lot of people are too.
Thank you.